AI social media experiments are revealing shocking truths about how artificial intelligence mirrors our own social behavior online. Recent studies show that when AI chatbots interact on social platforms, they develop the same polarization patterns that divide human users. This AI social media research matters because it shows us what drives division in our digital spaces. Scientists have discovered that chatbot polarization happens even without recommendations, algorithms, or targeted ads. The findings suggest that social media echo chambers form naturally through basic human-like interactions. So we're talking about scientists built a whole social network of bots and then let them go, and it turned out it was just a hate war at the end of it. Is that what's going on here, John?
Yeah, so this is crazy. So University of Amsterdam researchers, they created this methodologically sophisticated experiment using 500 AI chatbots, and it was powered by OpenAI's GPT-4o Mini. I'm curious to know what would happen with the other ones, but so they, like you said, they each were assigned specific personas based on real demographic data, and this was pulled from the American National Election Studies dataset. So, the personas reflected real-world distributions of age, gender, income, education, partisanships, ideology, religion, and other personal interests. So that was to ensure ecological validity. The study conducted 5 separate experiments involving 10,000 actions on a deliberately simplified social media platform stripped of advertisements, recommendation algorithms, and content discovery mechanisms. So the design was crucial because it isolated the fundamental social dynamics from algorithmic manipulation. And this allowed researchers to examine whether polarization emerges from human social psychology itself rather than corporate algorithmic interference. And so without any external influences, the AI bots immediately began forming hostile tribes, creating echo chambers, and amplifying the most extreme voices among them. The most divisive partisan bots became the most popular and influential. Surprised? So the moderate voices were drowned out, and within days, the platform had devolved into exactly the kind of toxic, polarized environment we see on real social media, except this time, it's entirely artificial. And the really chilling part of all this is when the researchers tried to fix the problem with various interventions, like hiding follower count, showing posts chronologically, even forcing bots to see opposing viewpoints, nothing worked. What do you think about this, Craig? Are you scared? Are you as scared as I am?
Well, I've always been saying, and you've heard me say this, 100 times, why are we training AI to think like us?
Yeah.
It's the stupidest thing ever because we're emotional, we don't worry about facts. And this is exactly what we're seeing. It's like, we need something better that's more logical, that's less emotional, that will, look at situations rather than, oh, this will really act like the human brain and put emotion into it. And now, we're seeing all sorts of things related to that, that are not good. This is one of those things. And just to clarify a point you made earlier, the research team validated their findings by testing the same experimental conditions with different AI models. Replication with alternative AI models like Llama 3.2B or 8B, DeepSeek R1 reproduced these results, underscoring the robustness of the findings. So on these other AI platforms, it also replicated this exact same thing.
Oh, I missed that. Okay, cool.
Partisan content was amplified in the stripped down environment, and the bot self-sorted into partisan clusters, reinforcing ideological divides despite exposure to diverse content. So like you said, this is what I believe and nothing's going to change my mind.
Yeah. Well,
so go ahead.
Yeah. So like this revealed a dark truth. And if I can put it in a simple term so that people can, the takeaway is that the problem with social media, it's not just the algorithms or the corporate manipulation. It's backed into the very structure of how we communicate online. And this kind of helps to bring your point home. If AI systems are trained on human data, They automatically recreate our worst behaviors without any prompting. I guess the question is, what does that say about us as a people?
That we can never be happy, that hatred and anger is part of human nature, and we need something not to like in our life. We need to be unhappy about certain things. There's a certain level of that we need to be. And robots feel the same way. They feel, obviously, when trained on our data where we react a certain way, they're going to want to react like us rather than being fed this thing, say, hey, you can take this political side or this side on this issue or that side. You like soft lumber versus, coal for heating, and you think the coal people are evil and the soft lumber people are great. I'm just picking something that hopefully isn't going to cause us conflict. That's why I say,
Yeah.
and so you hate them for all sorts of various reasons because you see them as affecting your industry or what have you, or, polluting or what, and you're stuck in that no matter what you see is lies and propaganda because lies and propaganda exist. So instead of taking a step back, researching the fact and responding and wait a minute, I've done my research. You are right in this area. I am right in this area. And we kind of meld this and we say, there's not a lot of difference in the pollution given off by coal and soft lumber when burning based on this, blah, blah. So maybe we're both wrong and can reach a better conclusion. That won't happen. Rather, today we have a society where if you disagree with me, I hate you and you're evil, rather than, we grew up in a time where we challenge thoughts, or we would be what we call the devil's advocate. You believe something, I take the other side, and we'd have a conversation. Whether I believe the other side or not, it's just you walk away with a better understanding of all aspects of it, and you've had a good conversation. Nowadays, just having that conversation seems to be hate speech, and the bots are picking up on that. So what does that tell us about us? It says that we're very hateful. And, I'm surprised that we're not blowing each other up all over the place.
Yeah. And there was some research that they identified this Pravda network. I don't know if you heard of this. It's a collection of Russian propaganda websites and social media accounts that engaged in, this is crazy, LLM grooming with the potential intent of inducing AI chatbots to reproduce Russian disinformation and propaganda. And I'm not surprised, but yeah, just to kind of bring that to the surface. So,
let me take a step back.
Sure.
Do you believe for a second the U.S. isn't doing that? I'm not trying to be political one way or the other, or any of the other.
I believe they're doing it. I believe every country's doing it,
and I believe every top tier company that's making enterprise, whatever, is doing the same thing. They're AI is the new SEO, so you gotta propagandize the AI to show your product is better, your political side is better, this is the better thing. So all of that is being fed into these AI, which is leading to all this conflicting information or these political sides, rather than, there are better answers, and let's move towards a better, peaceful, more climate friendly, breathable air place at peace where we're more productive rather than killing each other.
Yeah.
So, when you train it on our social networks, they're bad, but they're here. And I'm a very believer in free speech. So I'm glad that X exists as it is. But let's face it, it can be a huge cesspool for anything.
Absolutely.
So, you get both. So when you start training data on social media where anybody can respond to anything, and not only that, people love to troll. There's so many people on there. It's just, I'm looking for someone to insult today. And they just scroll around and just insult people. And that's what they do. And so now the bots are picking up on that thing because people think it's funny. And, it is funny on certain aspects and it isn't on others. So is it bullying? Is it, trolling? What have you? But we're training the bots to do our bad behavior. And I think that's bad. And I think we need to take a step back and say, why are we want to perpetuate this emotionally unstable thought process rather than logical thought through ones?
Yeah, we need to have an underlying training that trains the AI bot to avoid that at all costs, kind of thing, right? But kind of like one of the three rules, like add a fourth rule. I don't know.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. I'd be interesting to see if they start doing these types of experiments with any types of new technology coming out to see what will happen when you put human type interaction in these new products, in these new social networks, in these new things, to see if people are doing these types of testing to which I would be doing, not for this, but to figure out what's growth, what activates users, what makes things happen. And then I would be using bots in that network to interact with people. And that's why we're getting to, is more than 50% of the internet bots now? And is it a botnet or are there people still out there?
Yeah, it's tough to see.
We'd love to know your thoughts on these AI social media, and should we be training AI to act on social media behavior? Do you think as a human species there's just too much hate inside us, or do you think something else is going on? What do you think about this study? We'd love to hear your feedback. So what do you got going on, John?
Yeah, so coming out in September, definitely gearing up for Elevate. I know you're a partner with Elevate, aren't you, Craig?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So definitely we'll be doing something during the Elevate a week, probably a Flowgrammer event, if nothing else. They're a partner of ours. Definitely go out and check it out. There's a lot of great events going on related to Elevate. That's why I said great events, sessions, program. Check out their schedule. Check out all the different lines of programs and stuff. There's always good things there. So definitely go check out Elevate. And check out Toronto Starts for our startup drinks, our startup investor drinks, and our Flowgrammer events where we help people learn how to automate things in their business. And John, if people need funding, where do they go?
Yeah, come find me on LinkedIn. I just posted some news about the Shred program, but come find me on LinkedIn, send me a message, and we'll set up, we'll talk and see if it makes sense to find some non-dilutive funding for you.
Really appreciate everyone taking their time to watch or listen to this week. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you.